Crawford in what seems to be your second home these days, New York City. You're at Madison Square Garden. There's not a bigger stage in boxing than that. And you got an opponent coming over from the UK, Amir Khan, who is a legend in the sport in that he's done a lot. He's got a lot of experience. He's got a lot of name recognition. Where does Amir Khan plot on your course of becoming undisputed, like pound for pound champion? Like, people have you in your opponent's list. Where do you think that places you if you were to get this win?
I feel like I'm already number one. I feel like that would just solidify my number. You know, Amir Khan is a great fighter. Never lost in the welterweight division. Great hand speed, great boxing IQ, great movement, great legs, and a little bit of power as well. So I feel like this is a great fight against another boxer in his own right. And the way I finish this fight, in what fashion, I think that's going to tell it all.
I would agree with everything you said, but when I read about this fight, a lot of reporters and fans are considering this a gimme. Like, oh, he's definitely going to knock out Amir Khan. Amir Khan's got a soft chin. Are you concerned, on the one hand, that you don't get credit for this win being the kind of victory that you just described, or the kind of fighter you just described? Is that chin of his kind of seductive? Like, are you worried about going for the knockout in the fight?
Not at all. I don't worry about going for the knockouts. If it comes, it comes. If it don't, it don't. As long as I get the victory. I'm not too much worried about what everybody else give me credit for. You know, they're not gonna give me credit for no fights. You know, I haven't came. You know, a lot of people always criticize me about the fighters I fought. You know, even the undefeated fighters, the gold medalists, the unifying champions and stuff like that. But before the fight, it's, oh, Terence, this is going to be the hardest fight of his career, and this and that and this. And then when I fight him, then they discredit him. You know, so I can't worry about what the next person will say or who I fought. My job is to go out there and just get the job done.
Well, you say like you feel like you're number one on the pound for pound. I don't know anybody who's having the top three, but they do question whether or not at 147 pounds, which is an odd thing, you're the best. On the one hand, do you feel like you still have something to prove in this division? I know you're a belt holder, but you don't have them all. Do you have something to prove in this division? And what has been the transition like from 40 to 47? Are your shots heavier, or are you taking harder punches?
147 is not a big difference from 140 to me. You know, I feel stronger at the weight. I feel more healthier. As far as punching power, I really can't tell the difference. You know, I fought twice with two opponents that naturally bigger men. You know, and I stopped them both. You know, you got that beat Pacquiao. Some people don't give him the credit and say, well, Pacquiao got robbed. But at the same time, you know, it was a grueling fight for both of them. You know, and everybody's seen what I did to him. Benavidez, he was a great fighter, you know, in his own right. He was a counter puncher, tall, long, big, rangy. A lot of people thought he was too big for me. A lot of people thought he'd counter punch his way to a victory. But after getting up to the fight, everybody was looking at all the videos of him doing all his strength and condition work, all his sprints. Nobody said nothing about his leg, you know, and credit him. He didn't say nothing about his leg either until everybody said, oh, your leg. Then the excuses come out, you know, and I still believe that he'll give anybody trouble in the division, you know, him and Justin.
And lastly, you say that you never get the credit you deserve. What, if anything, can you do to change that?
I just feel like the level I'm on right now is a high level. So the guys that I'm beating in what fashion, it's like they don't supposed to be in the ring with me. So that puts a lot of pressure on me to go out there and get the other champions in the same division, because, you know, who else am
So fighting the other champions might solve this problem.
Correct.
Radio Raheem with Terence Crawford. Can't wait to see you in the ring this Saturday night at Madison Square Garden against Amir Khan, and I damn sure can't wait to see you fight those other champions. Always a pleasure to talk to you, champ. Radio Raheem.
What's going on, guys? It's your boy Boxing Truth over tradition and more. Terence Crawford, one of the greatest fighter of our generation, if not the greatest fighter of our generation, has a lot to prove, according to the public, even though he has done so much in the sport, but he never gets the credit he deserves. As you guys heard, Terence Crawford, he says he never gets the credit he deserves because he's so good. He's in a league of his own. He's fighting at a higher level than everybody else. So, going into each and every fight he goes into, guys are like, Terence Crawford, you can't beat this guy. Each and every fight Terence Crawford goes into, he's always being criticized or he's being underestimated. People make outrageous comments like, this person's gonna beat Terence Crawford, that person's gonna beat Terence Crawford. Crawford can't knock out this guy, he can't knock out that guy. Crawford power won't carry up to 147. I mean, these guys just come up with These fans come up with ridiculous claims about Terence Crawford. The reason is because Terence Crawford is fighting at a higher level than a lot of boxers we're used to seeing. That's what makes Terence Crawford a special fighter. Terence Crawford versus Amir Khan goes on Saturday, April 20th. ESPN pay-per-view. This is a fight that we must see. This is a must-see fight, a pay-per-view fight. This is a pay-per-view fight not because Amir Khan is the best fighter in the world. Yes, Amir Khan may have some big names on his resume, but guys, if I were to ask you, if Terence Crawford fought everybody on Amir Khan's resume, who would be the favorite going into each and every fight except for the Canelo Alvarez fight, based on the fact that the Canelo Alvarez fight should have never happened. It was a money grab for Amir Khan, and we all know it. If Terence Crawford were to fight everybody on Amir Khan's resume other than a middleweight in Canelo Alvarez, we are all going to make Terence Crawford the favorite. So I don't understand why guys are criticizing a guy like Terence Crawford. Now, we can't say the same about Amir Khan. If Amir Khan fought everybody on Terence Crawford's resume, will he be undefeated? That case is a lie based on the fact that Amir Khan got knocked out by a guy, Breeders' Prescott, who Terence Crawford beat up on with 2 week notice. But everything Terence Crawford said in this interview, I 100% agree with it. I'm looking forward to this fight. I 100% believe that Terence Crawford is pound for pound the best fighter in the world, and he will prove that when he gets in the ring with guys like Danny Garcia, Sean Porter, Earl Spence Jr. That might be a little bit closer fight, Earl Spence Jr., but Terence Crawford has too much for a guy like Earl Spence Jr. Earl Spence Jr., he tries to overwhelm you. He's gonna fight a guy who is a little bit bigger than. He may be bigger size-wise, but height-wise, he only has Crawford by an inch in height. Crawford has probably longer arms than, so Crawford won't have to take chances. It's not like Earl Spence is the size of a guy like Jose Benavidez. Jose Benavidez was a giant in there. That's why the fight was taken to the later rounds, to the 12th round, because Jose Benavidez, he did not came to fight. He came to survive. And we seen when he tried to fight in the 12th round, he got clipped. This is why a fight with Earl Spence and Terence Crawford is a very interesting fight. But I have Terence Crawford edging that fight out. I see Crawford winning that fight by unanimous decision. A close unanimous decision. But Crawford wins that fight. But I'm looking forward to this fight, Crawford versus Khan. And Amir Khan's never lost at the welterweight division. Depending on the fashion that Crawford defeats Khan, Crawford needs to get the credit he deserves. If he goes in there and knock out Amir Khan in a few rounds, which has never been done at the welterweight division, guys. We're talking about the welterweight division. Amir Khan is undefeated at the welterweight division. If Crawford goes in there and put on a spectacular performance, knocks out Amir Khan, he deserves all the credit in the world. And then we look forward to the bigger fights. But do me a favor, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button for more.